Got itchy palms? That's a sign money could be coming your way with Scratch and Win from Caribbean Lottery. It's the easiest way to win instantly. No waiting, no fuss. With tickets starting from just $2 up to $20. Win over $35 million in prizes. The higher the price, the bigger the prize. So scratch today for your chance to win up to $200,000. Available at Caribbean Lottery agents island-wide. Must be 21 years and older to play.
Running a business? Closing deals, keeping the books, covering team lunches, that's work. But getting rewarded for it, now, that's a trip. With a new JetBlue Business Card by CIBC Caribbean, every expense moves you forward. Earn 30,000 TrueBlue points after your first purchase, plus perks like a free checked bag, priority boarding, and more. Make your business a trip with a new JetBlue Business Card by CIBC Caribbean. Apply today at www.cibccaribbean.com/JetBlue.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea, and as we mentioned before in a couple of the headlines, especially the sad one that we woke up to on the 27th, that the young lady was found in the Whitegate area. That really hit me because I was really praying that she would have returned safe with all the stories we heard of persons hiding, etc., etc. I really didn't expect her to turn up unalived.
Yeah.
Good morning, caller. You're live on Island Tea.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
And greetings once more in Jesus Christ's name, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell, and the second person of the eternal Trinity. Now, first of all, I would like to say my condolences to the family and friends of the young lady who was killed, at least who they found dead. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my condolences and sympathies to her family and friends. Now, secondly, as usual, I would like to say we need to become a republic as soon as possible and get out the British Commonwealth as soon as possible. The quicker, the better. Thirdly, I would like to say, you see, the Bible is always 100% correct. No error whatsoever in it. And when we reject the Bible, we reject wisdom, and we are playing the fool when we reject the Bible. And the Bible says stripes are for the backs of fools. Now, concerning, and I said that all in connection with the music festival issue. Also in connection with the Bible also says, 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 10, I'll just quote part of it from the English Standard Version. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. That's the English Standard Version. For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil. I just quoted the first part of the verse, not all of it. Now, I said all that to say this. Where music festival is concerned, and by extension, Culturama, Carnival here in St. Kitts and Nevis, and all of these kinds of other entertainment that the government sponsors and supports and that sort of stuff. But since music festival just gone, I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on that, since this is the one that just gone and it's still fresh in people's mind. It is these things, like music festival, Culturama, Carnival, and so on, that one, have life so hard, contribute very much. There are other things as well. There are many other things. I'm not saying it's just these only. There are other things as well, but I'm focusing on these things. They contribute to the hardness of life. They contribute to the rising rate of poverty. They contribute a lot to crime, including but not limited to murder. I mean, we bringing in the government bringing in artists who encourages degeneracy, worthlessness, vulgarity, gangsterism, badmanism, like cartel, censure, and those are who for vulgarity and gangsterism, badmanism, murdering, and that sort of stuff. Just as we did for Byron Messiah, the government sponsor these things and support these artists. And we have to realize these things are pushing especially the young minds, even foolish old minds as well, but especially the young minds, many of which are very foolish still, in the wrong direction. All because of money. Oh, we bring in this person, so a lot of people going to come and support it. But we have to live with the aftermath, the results. And so when people got to listen to these things, especially the young people, the mind get even more corrupt. It's already corrupt. And the mind even get more corrupt with the degeneracy, the vulgarness, and even those people, even if they ain't sing gangster song, because they have that history, the youngsters them especially feel that, okay, where the government supporting these things, so the gangster song, in the gangster song, they sing it even if they ain't sing it at the music festival, it's okay, because how can it not be okay and the government bringing in these people to entertain them? The love of money is a root of all kinds of evil.
You know,
We
Carla,
reject the Bible.
I must agree with you, even though I don't follow the Christian faith. I must agree that there's a big double standard. It's not going to change though. We see the way the world is going, and that is why when you say everyone should follow the Bible way, and we say it's not going to happen. We see how the world trends, and as you said, the people gravitate more towards the violence and the vulgarity. Most of us who are older, we listen to not listen continuously, but we hear the lyrics of the modern day songs, and they are all, it's like only two things they can sing about these days. Mm-hmm. They can sing about sex and violence. Nobody, you go back to the old archives and you see people sang about love, about relationships, about housing, about cars, about anything you could think about. Artists sang about them, anything that affected life. But now, two items only: sex and violence. And you're right.
Not to cut you off, Quint.
Yeah,
not
go
cut
ahead.
you off, but I'm going to reinforce a point you said. I saw a clip, okay, at the music festival with this man sitting down in a chair and a woman spreading her legs right wide in front of his face. Yeah, continue, Clint.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. That is what people gravitate to. I mean, here's the big fact. You cannot dispute that the majority of the people that came to see Vibes Cartel. Mm-hmm. No matter how you...
That is undisputable. That is undisputable.
No
the love of money is the root of all sorts of evil.
Yeah, no matter how you want to twist it. And you're right. When the young people see that, you're inadvertently telling them this is the way to go. Yeah. Because they see this artist and they see the success he has had. You understand? Mm-hmm. And there's also a trend. Mm-hmm. There's also another trend. Buju Banton, he wound up in prison. Soon as he come out, everybody wanted Buju Banton.
Yep, the whole
then
going was...
Vibes Cartel, he went into prison. Soon as he come out, everybody wants, you know. And if you look way back when, what was this other artist again, this reggae artist? He sings a lot of conscious music. Jack Cure, remember when Jack Cure years ago when Jack Cure was in prison? Soon as he came out, he booked, all of the tours were booked out. Yeah. So people gravitate to, it's like prison is what people, like young people.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah, if you go to prison, you're in vogue. Yeah. So yeah, you're right.
No, but it's well, with all due respect, with all due respect, I don't want to try blanket. I don't want to try blanket statement to say if you're going to prison, you're coming vogue. Yes, you're correct. But to me, if a person go for prison for the right reasons, because they stand up for rights and that sort of stuff, yes, when they come out of prison, they're going to be bigger in my books.
Yeah, like Nelson
But
Mandela.
exactly. But
Yeah.
when you go to prison because of stupidness and foolishness and wrongs, then it is a big, big evil and wickedness for that person to, when they come out, to become bigger in anybody's book, because you should be ashamed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, if you go to prison for the right reason, yes, when you come up bigger in my book, because you
Greg,
show yourself to be a man.
You're a Bible man, and you
woman.
know these days must happen. So you know they're just fulfilling themselves. Although I would
Well-
wish them to not be, because even we have this rule that children should not be on the road at a certain time. But I'm sure some parents took their kids to see Vibes Cartel. So who is responsible for that? And I guess now, in the eyes of the law, they might say, okay, the kids were supervised, they were with an adult. But when these parents get there and these kids find their friend, they normally don't stay with the parents. The parents keep in contact with them via the cell phones.
Yeah.
So we talk, but we do nothing but talk.
And this is when a lot of, you see, like that young girl who got killed.
Yeah.
A lot of things happen during this music festival, not to that level, but a lot of promiscuity. A lot. I know that a lot of parents could not find their children within certain hours,
Yeah.
and you know what was going on. You
Oh,
understand?
boy.
So, yeah, it's a double standard, but it's not going to change.
And it's always sad when we hear people say, oh, that's a music festival baby, that's a carnival
Yeah,
baby.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's nothing.
Yeah.
But we have to get our act together. We really do.
Well, I am one of those Christians who do not believe that the Bible teaches things are going to get worse and worse and worse till when Christ come back. I believe they're going to come a point
But the Bible says
when
it.
the,
I'm not saying it.
well, I'm not one of those Christians who holds to that teaching, because the Bible actually teaches the opposite, that before
And
Christ come back.
sometimes, Greg, you yourself have said it's going to get worse unless we.
We do things the
Yeah.
Bible way.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe there's going to come a time when we are going to be converted and start to do things the Bible way before Christ come back. That's what the Bible teaches.
But
That's
it
what the Bible
says
teaches.
these things would happen. Parents would be,
Yes.
children will be disobedient. All these.
Well, I believe, but those things were prophesied to happen in the last days, which really pertain to the destruction of the old
So they're
covenant
not-
in its physical form.
So what is
That happened
happening now
2000
then?
years ago.
What's
Hello?
happening now then? Because the last days could be now until whenever.
No, it was the last days of the destruction of the old covenant in its physical form, which happened about 2,000 years ago in the destruction
Well, we
of
see children
Jerusalem
having
and the
children.
temple.
We see all of these things
Greg.
happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah,
Wrap up now.
That is for that. Yeah. So let me wrap up. So I'm going to say we're going to have to live with the artifacts, which I say includes the increased rate in poverty and that sort of stuff. And for these crimes, hardship, lack of jobs, as a matter of fact, the destruction of jobs and that sort of stuff are the aftermath of these things, the results of these things, and I led these things, crimes, including but not limited to murder, poverty and that sort of stuff, first at the feet of the churches, because they should be speaking out, they should know better, and a lot of these politicians are members of these churches, and they should discipline them. And secondly, I also lay a lot of the blame at the feet of government, also to entertainers and so on. But the two biggest sets of people are the churches and the government that are letting most of these negative evils and wickedness that are going on into society at their feet.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if the church speaks and they don't listen, what happens then, right?
Don't even mention the church as far as I'm concerned.
No, but I have to mention the church. I can't, because
No,
when the church speak, people
I'm not,
sometimes people,
I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I'm saying in a sarcastic way,
I
don't even
understand.
mention the church,
But-
because the church is the biggest bad example. You understand?
That's not true for all the churches.
Well, not all, but most.
And it saddens me when I hear stuff like that, because I believe in the
Look,
church. I believe in the
The
Lord.
things that we grew up hearing, like Greg would always taught, were wrong. You don't hear the churches now saying them. They don't. I don't know if they say it when you go to church in their congregation, but there was a time when you would listen to the radio broadcast and you would hear preachers saying, this is where we're going and it's wrong. Now preachers come, they either just quote the Bible all the time, repeat the same, regurgitate the same scriptures, or they tell you about how much money they want and how much they've gone so bold. You can't bring a collection plate anymore. They pass around buckets, and then they tell you blatantly after passing around the bucket 2-3 times that isn't enough. They tell you they don't want $1. They don't want $5. They're telling you that this,
I know, Quint, I know.
Yeah, they're telling you
Because look, we had the incident when of the locked doors in the U.S., which
Yeah.
everybody was talking
Yeah.
about.
I mean,
And I understand, but people are not listening. And
We
then
have a
too,
call.
how do we blame the government? The government bring what the people ask for. Just like how when the government had asked if you want Jesus or Barabbas, the people chose Barabbas. So how do we blame the government here?
Hello,
Caller,
caller.
good morning. You're live on Island T.
Morning, guys. Good
Yeah.
morning.
Morning.
No, it is the statement that Quinn make. It is so sad.
Yeah, I feel it too. I told him that. Because not everybody.
It is sad. But Greg said that the church should punish. He called like he said, the people in government, and some of them are members of the church.
Yeah.
The thing is that are they members of the church? Or are they just a goer of the church? Because when you're a member of a church, that means you are saved, baptized. That's when you become a
Sanctified.
member. Because you come to the
Yeah.
church, that don't make you a member of the church.
Yeah.
well, the way the modern day religion is trending,
Oh,
you
Lord.
just
Yeah,
go
trending. You heard
Yeah.
that, Cleo?
Yeah.
Trending.
You just go to the church.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you just go to the
And
church.
that is the
And
problem.
look,
Everybody
look,
wants to go along with the trend.
Yeah.
I mean, you cannot. When Quinn talk about the church back then and now.
Yeah.
When you look at church now, I kind of agree with Quinn in some sense. He making sense.
Yeah, that's why I tell him not
it
all.
It is so sad.
Yeah. But
It
not
is-
all
it is so
churches
sad
fall under
because
that.
everything now people want to take instead of the church make the world come and adapt to Christ. We want
adapt to the world.
The
Yeah.
church is letting the world dictate to them.
Yeah.
The churches now want to, and they will say, keep the young people in the building, because they're not in the church, they're in the building.
Yeah.
Keep them in the building. So you have all this thing about praise, dance, and they carry everything the world do.
Yeah.
They take it inside God's house and talk about it.
Look, as you
It's not right.
as you speak about dance, right? I remember some years ago because Andre Huey, he's a Christian, and I remember having a debate with him, and I said, look, it's hard for me in a lot of instances to distinguish between the gospel music and some
yeah.
secular music. Only sometime
Exactly.
only sometime I know it's a gospel song because I hear occasionally they say Jesus or God. But
They
other
got
than
the
that,
word Jesus in there.
yeah. Other than that, the mute and how they
What?
act, man, I tell you.
But it's the truth. Sometimes I
Wow.
see them on the computer, and honestly, you can't tell if it's a church or if it's a dance they're having on the street
Yeah.
outside. The movement inside inside the church is the same movement they
Same
do outside
movement,
Friday and Saturday night.
Hello, caller. We have another caller.
Hey,
All
yeah,
right,
good morning to you
guys.
guys.
Yeah.
Good morning.
All right, thank
Yeah,
you,
Good morning to
caller.
you guys. Good morning. Good
Morning.
morning to the other caller there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like these discussions, man. Yeah, well, look like music festival went off with a bang. Are you drinking extra coffee this morning?
No, I don't go to those things, caller, so that won't affect me. And I didn't drink
Yeah,
coffee today.
man.
I'm trying to follow Quinn's lead and try to drink some bush tea in between.
Hello, caller. I think that's a good example to follow. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, as a society, I don't know where we are going to go from here. You know, for a long stretch of time, when I left Nevis in 1985, a long stretch of time, I was disconnected. And I got reconnected about 2013. It seems to me I may have to go back and be disconnected.
Oh boy.
But things are not really isolated to St. Kitts and Nevis. This is
Yeah.
around the whole world now. But as a small island state, my thing is that there's a lot of things that we could have been doing different than the rest of the world and the rest of the Caribbean even. We could have used our small size to our advantage. But the politics got the place polarized. The place is too polarized politically. You know, when one of the first things that I observed when I got reconnected, these are personal observations, and these are things that I have to say out loud.
Caller, be brief because we're running out of time and we have another caller.
Okay, but when I got reconnected in 2013, even my own family was divided with this politics stuff, and we are still all like that. And evil is reigning over good, hate is reigning over love. We need more love, respect, and that type of stuff back in the society. And I can leave it there for now, man.
Okay,
All right?
take care. Thanks for calling.
All right, thanks for calling.
Hello, caller.
Yes, morning.
Good day.
Before I comment on that, what you're discussing right now, the earlier comment about Putin saying that he want to take over the whole of Ukraine.
Whole of
Is
Ukraine.
that a fact?
Yeah, it's a news article. Let me tell you where I got it from.
Because it's a news article doesn't mean it's a fact. Eh?
Remember,
Remember the Western media pushes propaganda to inflame whatever they want.
Let
That
me.
would be a huge statement. I would be very surprised if he came straight out and said that.
Okay, hold on. Let me
Yeah,
tell you
I
what-
doubt that he did. You know.
Yeah.
This news is actually on winnfm.com. It's the international news. And it says Putin confirms he wants all of Ukraine as Europe steps up military aid.
Yeah, and did they say?
Confirmed.
Did they? You see how they word it?
Yeah.
But they.
Oh, yeah.
And
we-
it's
we-
it comes
It's a
from
quote.
the article comes from Al Jazeera. Is Al Jazeera not a credible source?
Well,
That is supposedly a credible source.
Yes.
in that
Yeah, so
they
you can
usually
go on
present both
WinFM and
sides.
read it, and
But what I'm saying
then
is,
you-
if he made a statement like that, I think the whole of the Western press would have run with it.
yeah,
Right? And I haven't been
and
hearing any over it. So.
and they should also have his voice or something that.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
yeah. You know,
Exactly.
I'm
Put it in
wary
quotes,
when
not
they
say
just
confirm.
make statements and say people say and it's confirmed.
But then it also goes on to say that Trump made no pledge of assistance to Ukraine at last week's NATO summit, but said he'll try and sell it Patriot interceptors.
Yeah, that's what seems like it's going to be going on for quite some time. But with regards to the Gaza situation, what I notice is that the press is now, well, let's say the BBC, I heard an interview basically saying that Israel is now making no secret of the fact that they really want all the people in Gaza to leave.
Exactly.
But we
That's
knew
why they're
that.
making the whole
But
place.
Exactly.
Look, Mr. McMahon, I'm sure you and I came to that realization a
Because
long
every time
time
they
ago.
put them somewhere, they bomb it.
Yeah.
So it's like they're just trying to get rid of them, like kill them all, and just take the land.
And they're saying
and build the
they're
oasis.
planning to wind down soon because there are no more targets there. They're just people. And you're going to be killing people who are going to
And
look at
children, the amount of children that are being killed, it's getting ridiculous. They need to
women
stop.
and children.
Yeah.
Because when you kill the women, you know what happens.
Yeah.
You're
Production
civilization is
goes down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
but I mean, you
Anyway-
think
anyway-
okay, we can't do much in terms of influencing events
Yeah.
because United States, you know, how vindictive they can get. But we certainly can appeal to the other countries that we have diplomatic relations with, who may have some influence, like Britain, the bigger powers, Australia, and those countries, to at least let them know how we feel that this really should not be happening, because it seems as if the rest of the world just letting it happen. And we should at least try to do something, say something to put it on record that if genocide actually happens, whether they remove them, we don't want no part of that. We were not in favor of that. Put it on record somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well.
You have to go, right? So
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
leave this in for another time.
Yeah. Well, we could continue. We could continue when in voices if you want to call back. 'cause-
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
right.
Found the sound 98.9 WinFM.
special.
Running June 26th and July 9th.
Now, our Value Club Blue Tank specials. Kraft barbecue sauces are just $7.99 each. Essential Everyday Vegetable and Canola Oil, $13.99. Essential Everyday Shredded and Chunk Cheeses, $7.99 each. Banquet Breakfast Sausages, $7.99. Essential Everyday Fries are just $14.99. Essential Everyday Disposable Containers, $15.99. And now, our very low weekly
Value deals. IG and Essential Everyday Peanut Butter, creamy and crunchy, $8.99. Essential Everyday Pasta, $4.99. IGA or Essential Everyday Salad Dressing, $9.99. Essential Everyday Oats Quick and Old Fashioned, $15.99. The AM Toothpaste, $4.99. Nature Valley Granola Bars, $12.99. Shop Smart, Shop Value Mart, tell them in Spanish.
sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
Let TDC Financial Services help you go for your goals. Whether you're thinking of taking that grand vacation, down payment on a house, higher education, TDC Financial Services has various plans that will allow you to go for your goals. Choose from the Accumulator Plus, Investment Starter Plan, and Fixed Deposit. Ready to go for your goals? Visit us at TDC Financial Services, where money is made easy.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beating every soul, a feeling we cannot It's hide. Always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spot. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps bumping.
Time.
I have to go to school and learn and play with my friends too. Every day it's fun day, 'cause I love my chubby, chubby. Chubby, 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 chubby. Lots of flavors for me to choose. Every day they keep me cool. It fits my handmade just for me. Everybody loves chubby. Chubby, 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 chubby.
Every day is fun day.
Chubby.
Kids and neighbors, it's time to celebrate! We're raising our glasses and saying cheers to 20 years as your trusted telecommunications provider. And because we love our amazing customers, we're giving you the chance to win. Every week, we've got exciting prizes just for you. And that's not all. Step into a cash vault for a shot at $2,000 in cash. To qualify, switch to Digicel, activate a 3-day plan or higher, pay your bill in full, sign up for postpaid or a new Digicel Plus internet package. Stay connected, keep enjoying the best service, and get ready to win. 20 years strong, and we're just getting started. Visit a Digicel retail store today.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea as we continue along this morning. We have a call already?
No, we don't.
Oh,
And
okay.
Let me apologize to Mr. McMahon because my timing has been completely off today, and I must thank my co-host for keeping me on track. She actually had to say, Quint, it's what 9:30 something.
9:33. Yeah.
Because I was thinking it's 10 o'clock. Man, I tell
No,
you.
time ran away on Quint today, but
Yeah.
don't worry.
Well, here's some positives in terms of the music festival.
Mhm.
I see a trend that is a good trend. One, because of the fact that most of the other music festivals in the Caribbean region have discontinued, COVID put an end to that.
Even before COVID, some were discontinued. So let me just stick that pin there.
Yeah, and it has benefited us because we are able now to get more people from around the region, and that is good. Another trend is that I noticed that for the first time it was very, very evident that even before the official days of the music festival start, you could feel it, you could feel the vibe in the atmosphere. You could go into Bastille and it was busy, you know. I must commend the Minister of Tourism for some of the initiatives she's putting into place. One is to use the square as a venue option, seeing all those tents in the square and people being able to go in there and sell, and that is good. I see some good trends in terms of the music festival advancing and becoming a big contributor to the GDP of St. Kitts Nevis. Hello, caller.
Next year will be 30 years, so it has to be bigger
Yeah.
and better. So let's see. I hope planning would have started even before, even during this 29th one.
Yeah.
So, because it started as a Shack Shack festival. You know, the little Shack Shacks that drop off the tree as kids. We thought those were the bomb.com. I don't think it's the bomb.com for the kids anymore because they're inside on those tablets. But next year is 30. So let's see what's going to happen for 30.
Hello, caller.
And it can only go up from here. Caller, good morning. You're live in Island Tea.
Good morning to you, Cortesia. Good morning to you, Quint.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm giving thanks for life. Yourself?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, the music festival, it was a resounding success. And like you're saying, I think it can only reap dividends going forward, strength to strength. And as someone who is integral to, the industry overall, getting our guests to the hotels and so forth and back and forth to the various events. It can only reap dividends for us and the entire country as a whole in terms of all the economic spin-off and so forth. And I like the fact that in the previous ones, prior, in its inception, we would have had 4 days. And for whatever reasons, and it was for a good reason too, in that we have sun and sand and so forth on the beach. Not quite sure how the relevant organizers, if it is a separate body of NGOs that organize it, but it spells good. That come the Sunday, you can have it down on the beach and, the White Sands events and so forth.
Yeah. We have another call.
And so it is unique. It is unique for the fact that, Quint, you said that some of the other events, music festivals in the regions has discontinued for whatever reason, COVID or not, or post-COVID or pre-COVID. Yeah. And for the fact that I think it's a Nevis, we are so positioned
Yeah.
in the northern Leeward Islands. We are just around close to Antigua, close to St. Martin, close to the BVI, close to the U.S. Virgin Islands.
Close to Anguilla and Montserrat and
Yeah, well,
Sable
Anguilla,
Station.
yes, Anguilla. I see Anguilla still as a part of us because of the intricacy in the family blood lineage between St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla. For the fact that our bank is still the St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla National Bank, I hold my sisters and brothers in Anguilla dear to my heart, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we are in such close proximity yeah. Because Quint, just the Caribbean nationals coming from the various islands, it is so much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I tell you what, Quint, I was at the airport as I operate from there.
Yeah.
And it is only yesterday where we see
Africa. Sorry to think, but I'm going to let you continue. But remember, there's another caller on the line. Go ahead.
Okay, let me finish up here.
Yeah.
It is only yesterday where I see now that international visitors are coming. Prior to yesterday, there was just like Caribbean people from in the diaspora and the small flights that is coming from those respective islands that I mentioned. Yes, I love the other caller to call in.
Okay.
Chime in.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, it's me. What I was going to say was that at least the critics of the amount paid out to the artist, the main artist.
Yeah.
I think was silenced in the sense that whatever it was, it seemed to have done what it was intended to do, which is attract the huge following that it did.
Well, I still feel I still feel it. I still have a problem with it. But you're right. What I would like to know, I don't think we're going to know. What I would like to know is how much they made, what kind of profit they made, and give an assessment of what they spent, and then we would know if it is, we can't just the numbers look good from the people, but we need to get some real figures.
Concrete, yes. I agree. Just like how when we have CPL, they can make some kind of assessment. Something similar should be done for the music festival. It's not just enough to say, well, Marriott was full. I don't know if Croy was 100% full either, or Hyatt, or Christian Hill,
Yeah.
People were staying in Nevis too, This is how many people came. People were staying at Airbnbs and hotels and stuff in Four Seasons and all in Nevis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So which means that we can actually quantify it and justify whatever was paid. And by the way, it's a sensitive issue in the sense that it's public funds that were used.
Yes.
If it was a private promoter, fine, you can keep all the figures
to yourself.
Yeah.
But because it's government secrecy is not.
Yeah. We need accountability.
It should not be. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. And it would certainly give impetus to the fact that it does pay for itself, because that's important.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. That's a good point. Now, that is why I asked for, an assessment, because if you can give us an assessment that says this has been really profitable, then we won't be questioning 4 million for, an artist.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then for the 30th, you can say, well, justify spending $10 million on Beyonce or Rihanna or something like that, because you know you're going to get it back.
Yes.
You see?
Yeah.
That's important. But there's another aspect to it. Yes, it was very successful in terms of the entertainment it provided and so on. But I've seen where someone is questioning if there should be an age limit of patrons attending, because they're saying that it's underage people there, and some of the acts were were X-rated in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Greg
Not in a
says, right?
sense. Not in a sense. Some of the acts
Yeah, they were explicit.
X-rated.
Yeah, explicit. Yeah, right. And again, the sale of alcohol to minors and so on, that was questioned.
Yeah.
So,
Let Africa chime back in, and then Africa, you want to chime back in?
Yes. The last event, music festival event that I attended was when Buju was here. After Buju, there was, I think the COVID had caused the next event, the next year.
Yeah, I think
calendar
they
event
missed. Yeah.
to be at a hot, and then we had another music festival after that.
Yeah.
Prior to this one, what I would have liked to see after the assessment, the post-mortem with the Buju concert, he was like the main act.
Yeah.
Similar like how Vice Carter would have been the main act. After that assessment, I noticed last year's event, they did not have a post-mortem. Someone can correct me. I want to see the consistency. I want to see the best practices.
And I agree.
I want to see what we can take from the previous one and replicate and enhance on, and so forth and so forth and so forth. You're following the money trail and Mr. McMahon. Yes, we want to see that. It's not all the time, because it has to be approached in a business setting, a profitability setting. But at the same time, there can be some events, certain events, that would not allow that profit margin to be like in the green, so to speak. But we want to see an analysis done after each music festival, where we can see
I agree.
the air flights, where we can see where we can improve on the bed, the B&B, the bed setting, the hotel occupancies, and so forth. We want to see all of that done right across the board.
Right, and to Quinn, it would be nice to get a comparison between the profitability now with the music festival as compared to something like Carnival, for instance.
Yeah, that's another
because
good point.
that again would help to justify expenditure now. You know, when we're at the end of our tourist season, so to speak, it extends it. You know, so yeah, that all those things would really be good practice. But as to the persons attending, the underage people attending, I don't know if something can be done about that. I think it's really up to
I believe
discretion.
something can be done about it. It's up to parental discretion,
Yeah,
yes.
I think,
but we also know that there are a lot of parents who need parenting, so the system has got to put something in place to parent the parents.
Well, it's difficult. It's difficult because
it's going to be difficult, but I still believe that something should be done.
Yeah, but remember too, we don't even censor like our TV and the phones that they use. So you really wonder if if something actually can be done.
Okay, for instance, here's what could be done. You could actually put an age limit for certain young people that you say over that age you can go, but under that age for certain acts you cannot attend.
Or if they bring the children, they have to buy like 2 or 3 tickets. I think they'll think twice about bringing them.
I don't really understand.
Okay. You tell them don't bring the children because of what kind of act is going to happen, and they bring the kids. So instead of buying that one ticket, let's say for $175, you have to buy 3 $175 tickets for that one child because you brought it.
Yeah, but I believe parents are still gonna look.
Who's going to spend? You don't have to spend that much money on yourself. Which parent is going to buy one ticket twice for a child?
Well, yeah, that's a point. But there are some parents who I don't know. But here's something. Here's something. You can say, what is the legal age when a child can participate in sex or vote or
16.
whatever. Okay.
I
So
don't
you
even
can,
want it to be
But the
16.
legal age, the legal age for alcohol is 18.
okay.
16 for sex, but
And that
18
is
for
another
alcohol.
thing. But
Oh, boy.
I believe that you should be able to put an age where children on the, let's say, children from 13 go down can't attend certain acts, because you know the acts that are going to be vulgar.
Yep.
So that means they have to present ID. Anytime you're going to have to present ID, you're going to have a bottleneck.
Yeah.
Well,
It was already a bottleneck getting in on that particular night because of everybody that was going to see that particular artist. So imagine with that.
Yeah.
And caller, they can argue that
it's parental discretion.
Yeah, it's up to the parents, and as we see, as I already mentioned, the parent.
I'm gonna segue and give you an Mr. McMahon the the A's have it, the I's have it, yeah. So I
no, the way I look at it, even if you're 15, 16, 17, 18 even,
yeah,
right? Well, not 18, because 18 you're officially an adult, but you're gonna have lots of time to attend lots of festivals. So if you miss one or two when you're 15 or 16,
you
miss.
miss,
A big deal.
Yeah.
You know.
But on the other hand, preschoolers, kindergartners, and grade 1 and 2, these children can sing these songs word for word. So how are they being sheltered from not seeing the acts when they know the words and they have tablets?
That is why
and some parents aren't making sure their parental controls are on those tablets.
That is why
it's one thing for them to be doing that at home. It's another thing to be doing it at a venue where you have adults mixed in with children.
But Mr. McMahon, if you have, this is why I said that you just can't leave it up to parent discussion, because if a parent doesn't feel that it is wrong for a child, kindergarten, adolescent, to be singing the most vulgar, explicit. Look, I've heard parents, right, bring their child, a 5-year-old or 6-year-old, in front of the other family and friends and say, listen to him, and the child starts with this vulgar, the most vulgar songs and skin out, and the grown-ups are laughing. Oh, he's so cute, she's so cute. So how do you those are the kind of parents that need parenting.
It's tough. It's tough in this environment where it's almost like anything goes, right?
Yeah. So
you get more notoriety if you the more notorious you get, the more fame you get. So,
yeah.
It feeds on itself.
As we're about to wind down, I'm going to let Africa make his final statement, and then you, bearing in mind we have a very short time before Mr. Socrates is already here sitting across from me. So go ahead, Mr. Africa, go ahead, and then Mr. McMahon.
Yeah. Conversation of this nature is always a welcome, analysis from the various members of the general public who would want to weigh in and to wish all the best success in the summertime when it's low, and we have came up with ways and means to really give an impetus to the economy. Yeah, this is welcoming, and we look forward to the postmortem press conference and going forward a month or two from now.
Yeah.
Whenever. Thanks for listening.
Thank you. Mr. McMahon?
Yeah. I'll just summarize this by saying that there should be more voices from the society, not just the church, from the society in general, because you see, we can say that the art reflects what the society is doing,
yes,
and thinking.
Yeah.
Whereas leadership, especially since the festival is sponsored by government, the leadership really determines the tone, okay, and so should provide appropriate leadership for matters like this. Okay, it's not, and it should not just be about dollars and cents. Unfortunately, I mean, yes, you have to consider those, but there is also the wider question of is it really what our society should be reflecting, should be heading towards.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say. And lastly, of course, my initial outrage. Let us do something to at least distance ourselves from any kind of genocide that is happening in Gaza. Don't just leave it. Put it on record, not just at the United Nations.
Yeah.
Put it on record by trying to prod the influential countries, the big countries, letting them know that we don't want to be part of any kind of genocide. We didn't want it in case it happens.
Yeah.
All right then.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for your contribution.
And do you have any final words, Hortensia?
Just for us to have a great Monday and, do something good for someone today and just be careful on the roadways. And, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and whatever Hortensia said, I endorse.
WINN is 98.9. 98.9 is Win FM.
Supplegen is giving away